Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. So happy Pride Month. Happy Juneteenth yesterday. I want to point out something about Pride, right? I really dislike using the acronym for Pride because they leave out quite a number of things, although it's getting longer and longer. But see, when you put out an acronym like that, you're kind of not acknowledging that there are other sexualities that you may not understand or even know exist today, right? You're kind of there might be somebody who has a romantic relationship with an alien, right, from space, or has a romantic relationship with an insect that's in their home, right? Maybe they have bed bugs in their bed, and I just have to deal with bed bugs, so that's why I bring that. And they have a romantic they have sex with bed bugs at night, right? You can't really discount that either, right? But more importantly, you can't discount that there are sexualities that you do not understand exist or accept just yet. And unfortunately, the big one that is not being accepted, a lot of times it's not even part of the acronym, is of obviously solosexuals, right? Let me give you an example. I was just talking to a friend about workplace injustices due to being solosexual. See, right now I'm kind of grappling with whether or not I should quit a job. I have 2 jobs at the moment, a bunch of informal work as well, and I'm grappling with whether or not I should quit that second job. And the reason I took the second job was kind of as insurance against against the first job not turning out well, right? I wanted to have a say and be able to walk away, right? Unfortunately, I can't afford the premiums anymore, right? So I took the insurance, but I'm struggling with the premiums, i.e. I'm burning out, and whether or not I should drop that second job, drop the policy, if you will, and take the risk, right? Now, part of the problem is that oftentimes colleagues ask me for various favors, especially scheduling issues, because they know that I don't have somebody to take care of. What they don't realize is that I also don't have somebody to take care of me when I take those wonky hours, right? I don't come home to dinner being already prepared. I don't come home to somebody thinking about whether or not we should buy toilet paper, right? Running out of toilet paper and all that. It happens, right? It probably happens a lot less if you have 2 partners to take care of each other, right? But a lot of people forget about that. They just think I don't have somebody to take care of, right? That's why I prefer to say solosexual as opposed to single, right? I gotta take care of myself, right? Have a romantic life with myself. So my friend was saying, next time just say no to these people. You know what? A lot of times these people aren't really just asking for a favor. They're kind of semi-extorting you as well, because it makes you feel like, you're not a team player if you don't perform this favor. I'd rather do the favor and get some reciprocation from it. Let's put it that way, so that there's some camaraderie, and that way you don't go to work feeling like just a number. The other place this comes up is when I go out to a restaurant, especially on one of those holidays. Like yesterday was the Father's Day, and I made it a point to explain to people that I'm actually a father myself. I'll probably never see my children. I had sold some sperm when I was in college, and I almost forgot about that until the pandemic. When the pandemic first hit and schools were closed, I remember thinking, oh my God, I hope my children are doing well, not having a school to go to. In my mind, my child is half Polish. They're being raised by a single mother who is Polish. Now, I happen to know a Polish musician who is basically solosexual, probably. So it would be somebody like her raising the child. That's what I think in my mind. Because at the time that I donated the sperm, I had a huge crush on another Polish celebrity, and so that's how it played out in my mind. But unfortunately, you get very lousy service if you go out on a day like that, because people don't think you're going to tip very well. Going out with your children, you don't want to set a bad example to your child by not tipping well. Not to mention, it's a table of 3. They just assume that 3 people are going to tip better than 1. Or it's a bigger bill sometimes. Not necessarily, actually, because I have dietary restrictions, so my bill might not be that much smaller. But people assume that it's a table of one. They don't serve you very well, and not surprisingly, you're not in the mood to tip, so you give 5%, and they just justified their action, right? You justified your action too. They justified it too, and tipping culture ought to go. It really did. I say we just peel that Band-Aid right off, right? Don't even think about it. The more you think about it and try to not have, some restaurants are having this trial period where they want to get rid of it. Don't try it, do it! But anyway, none of these injustices will ever come close to the police brutality with the Black Lives Matter and all that. I agree. Nobody's going to get killed for being homosexual. Not directly, anyway. The problem is that all these little injustices, little barriers, have a tendency to compound themselves, right? You get shitty service at the restaurant. It puts you in a down mood. And you have to take on 3 jobs because you don't have somebody as a backup. And then each one suffers. And then you get paid a little bit less. And then you tip less, so you get bad service. All of this stuff has a tendency to renegotiate itself, and I wouldn't be surprised if the overall effect reduced our life expectancy somewhat, right?